Uhuru. Uhuru comrades. Uhuru comrades. This is Muabi Tongo, the International Membership Coordinator of the International Peoples Democratic Uhuru Movement. And I want to share with you a struggle that's going on in SanDiego right now. But I want to go ahead and make sure we get a few people onto the live feed first. So I'm going to just see a few people pop on. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and read a statement. Just to let you guys know this fierce struggle that we're engaged in here in SanDiego, California. Uhuru, Uhuru, Uhuru comrades, Uhuru comrades. All right, let's let a few more people come onto the live stream so I can let you know about this struggle that we're engaged in here in SanDiego, California. Okay. All right, I see a few more people going on. Yo, I hope everybody's doing good right now. I hope everybody's engaged in this struggle. We're in an amazing time right now for the revolution. We're engaged in an amazing time for the revolution right now. So we need to bring everybody along in this revolution. And so I'm just waiting a couple minutes to get a few people on so I can let you guys know about this fierce struggle that we're engaged in, that InPDUM is engaged in SanDiego, California with this university. So Uhuru, Kota, Uhuru, Philadelphia in the house. Hey, I see y'all out there working. Yo, we got to build this movement all over the world. So they trying to shut us down. They trying to shut the chairman down out here in SanDiego, and we ain't about to let that happen. So I see a few people on. I'm going to wait a couple more minutes. But yeah, I hope everybody's building in their areas. This is an amazing time right now to be a part of the International Peoples Democratic Uhuru Movement. And we got to build. We got to build. We got to fight harder than we ever fought. We got to fight harder than we ever fought before, comrades. We are engaged in the most amazing time right now. Cool, Uhuru, Wendy Craig. Uhuru, comrade. Okay, I'm going to wait one more minute. And then I'm going to go ahead and read this statement. Just let everybody know what's going down here in SanDiego, California. Yeah, we at war, comrades. We at war. And we gotta fight. We gotta make this, we gotta intensify the fight more and more. Every day we gotta wake up stronger. Every day we gotta wake up stronger. Okay, so let me go ahead and read this statement, and then we could go ahead and take it from there. I'll build on it a little bit. Okay, cool. All right, so on December 23rd, 2019, SanDiego State University announced that Chairman Omali Yeshitela of the Uhuru Movement and Ava Muhammad of the Nation of Islam were banned from participating in a student-run summit on the topic of reparations to black people. The reason given was concern about the speaker's alleged anti-Semitism. That's crazy. In the previous week, the black student organizers of the Reparations Summit had been pressured into amending the proposed speaker list after an onslaught of attacks by the Zionist student organizations, including SanDiego Hillel Center, followed by a series of articles in local media. The official statement of SanDiego State boasted of its collaboration with staff, faculty, and Jewish leaders in the decision to censor the Reparations Forum. The International Peoples Democratic Uhuru Movement is calling for all participants, including the invited speakers, to boycott this sanitized summit to protest the blatant racial censorship of our people who experienced the Holocaust on this land stolen from the indigenous people. InPDUM is a mass organization of the African Peoples Socialist Party, led and founded by Chairman Omali Yeshitela. We are completely opposed to the offensive notion that black people should be required to seek approval from the university or from Jewish Zionist organizations before speaking openly about our own oppression and our own liberation struggle. It is outrageous and it is absurd that the oppressed, that the colonized, the exploited, the suffering, resource-starved, the tortured, the imprisoned, and the brutalized African should be held responsible for anti-Semitism, when it was white people It was white people, not Africans, who forced Jews into the gas chambers in Europe. The muzzling of the Reparations Summit is furthermore a complete insult and attack on the indigenous people of SanDiego, better understood as occupied Mexico. SanDiego State University sits on the land that is stolen from the Mexican people, whose Holocaust at the hands of the U.S. white power is continuous. It is made clear by the mass graves that are lining the false colonial borders, where Mexican women, Mexican children, and Mexican men have been shot and discarded by the U.S. Border Patrol and white vigilantes. If y'all understand what's going on, right? We here at the border in SanDiego, and these Zionists have the audacity to try to tell Chairman Omali that he cannot come to this university to speak about reparations. That's the struggle that we're engaged in right now. There is no Holocaust museum for the indigenous victims of genocide on this land, nor for the Africans who were the first victims of European colonial white power, who continue to suffer under its oppressive rule to this day. The real discussion that the university and Zionist organizations have determined to silence through censoring Chairman Omali Yeshitela and Ava Muhammad. Comrades, it is African people, not Jews in SanDiego and elsewhere, who are beaten, harassed, and murdered by police and stuffed into prisons. It is African people and indigenous people, comrades, whose enslavement, whose genocide, and the colonization by Europeans formed the bloody foundation upon which this entire parasitic capitalist system was born and sustained. We are the victims of centuries of genocide, who apparently now must be silenced to make sure that these Jewish students feel safe at SanDiego State, as they stated. The reality is that SanDiego State Zionist censorship of the Reparations Summit. The reality is that the SDSU Zionist censorship of the Reparations Summit is an attempt to mute the influence of the anti-colonial liberation movement and turn the just struggle of African people for reparations into an exercise in academic abstraction. Now, this ban comes less than a year after Chairman Omali Yeshitela was invited to participate in the now famous debate on African unity at Oxford University, the most prestigious bourgeois university in the world. So if Chairman Omali just a year ago was debating at Oxford by invitation, how the hell is SanDiego State University gonna ban him for anti-Semitism? Right? Do you see the ignorance in this ban? Now, SanDiego State has banned Chairman Omali from speaking because he is the revolutionary leader who made reparations a household word and held the first World Tribunal on Reparations in Brooklyn, New York in 1982. He also built and led the first mass organization of Black people in the world dedicated solely to the issues of reparations, an organization that held annual reparations tribunals in different cities for 11 straight years. That's the reason why they banned him, because when you bring Chairman Omali to discuss reparations, you're really bringing a reparations struggle, and you're not just losing this conversation in academia. He is a respected, world-renowned leader who has spoke in Africa, throughout Europe, the Bahamas, Russia, and all throughout the United States and Canada. Students have consistently hosted Chairman Omali to speak at SanDiego State in the past. Now, I was a student at SanDiego State in 2003, 2004, and we brought Chairman Omali at least 3 or 4 times. Over the years, we've had several people bring Chairman Omali Yeshitela to SanDiego State. So it's asinine, it's ridiculous, and it's actually criminal for these Zionists of SanDiego State University to attempt to ban Chairman Omali. So all they're really attempting to do, because right now the whole world is starting to talk about reparations, but they want that discussion to get lost in academia. They don't want the discussion of reparations to be on the ground. And that's where the African Peoples Socialist Party built the reparations movement, is on the ground. Built the reparations movement through going door to door, through organizing white people to pay reparations, through holding reparations tribunals. The African Peoples Socialist Party is the first ones to actually have reparations on the ballot in 2017 when Akile Anayi ran for city council on the platform of reparations. So that's the discussion that SanDiego State University doesn't want to have. That's the discussion that they don't want to bring, because when we speak about reparations, we're talking about a material conversation. We're talking about the fact that the United States owes everything, that France owes everything, that Britain owes everything. And so, as Omali Yeshitela says, that if SanDiego State actually engages Omali Yeshitela in this struggle, that it's gonna be a real conversation that's really going to hit the university. It's really going to hit white power, and they don't want that to happen. They want these people that are like ADOS, and they want all these democratic people to hold this discussion so that it doesn't actually come in material form. Now, I see comrades that are commenting. I want to go ahead and acknowledge y'all. Uhuru Mads, Uhuru Ushendi, Uhuru Lisa. Hey, Uhuru Elliott, I'm glad you're tuning in. Virginia, Uhuru Comrade, Jackson, Uhuru Diop, Uhuru Comrades. And I just wanted to really bring this discussion on an international level, because we're, as Wendy Craig, she said, a criticism of Israel is not anti-Semitism. Now, we don't give a fuck about them saying that we're anti-Semitic. And what you're saying is 100% true. What you're saying is 100% true. But as one of the professors stated when we were on campus, that the Palestinian people are Semites. They're Semitic people. So the Uhuru movement stands in solidarity with the Palestinian people. So how the hell are these Israelis, how the hell are these Zionists saying that people are anti-Semitic when the people that we support are Semites themselves? And so that's what happens when you get this conversation lost in academia, when it's limited to white power, because white power wants to control the narrative. These institutions are here to control the narrative. So when African people that really are building an African working class revolutionary movement talk about reparations, we're talking about a material struggle. We're talking about all the minerals that are stolen out of Africa. We're talking about all the resources that are continually stolen. We're talking about the intellectual property that is continually stolen from African people. We're talking about our labor that is continually and consistently stolen. We're talking about everything that this system stands on is stolen. That's what we're saying. And these academics aren't going to say that. They're going to tell you that, they're going to talk about this sanitized form of reparations to where white people are included. Like we're pleading with these white people for a portion of the system, but we want everything. That's what the reparations struggle is about. Is the fact that everything is stolen. The land that we're standing on is stolen. Here in SanDiego, we live in occupied Mexico. This is stolen land. So how the hell are white people going to tell Africans who they're oppressing that we cannot talk about our liberation struggle on land that was stolen? How the hell are they going to do that? They're not. So International People's Democratic Uhuru Movement are here to let people know that we're not going to lay down. We're not going to stand back and allow SanDiego State University to tell us who we're going to have represent us, who we're going to have talk about reparations. Because Chairman Omali Yeshitela is the leader in this discussion on reparations. He's the one, and the African Peoples Socalist Party, who built reparations, who went around the world and made reparations a household word. And we're not confused about that. But SanDiego State and these Zionists, they want to confuse the rest of the world and have other people come represent. So we're calling on the speakers who have been invited to this forum, who have been invited to this summit, to ban this summit. ban this reparations event because they're sanitizing it. They're not allowing a real discussion about reparations to be held at this reparations summit. So what we're going to do is we're boycotting this event, and we're building our own event. We're building our own reparations movement here in San Diego to bring the African community, the working class community who is really, really struggling, who is really, really starved, and who reparations needs to be paid to. We need reparations, not just in some abstract way to as there's this movement, what are they called, the American descendants of slavery, this really backwards reactionary petty bourgeois movement who are trying to make this reparations struggle within colonial borders and limit it to a colonial discussion. But we're an international people. African people have been stolen from the continent of Africa and scattered all around the world. So we cannot limit the discussion about reparations to the United States of America and this concept that only black people in America should be recipients of reparations. That's ridiculous. So we want everybody in San Diego to come to the spot. I'm not sure, right in the African community, the location is called The Spot. It's 6443 Imperial Avenue. On Wednesday night coming up, we're going to have an event for Africans Charged Genocide campaign to speak about the colonial violence and the colonial terror that has occurred here in the United States at the hands of these white power proponents, at the hands of these capitalists and these imperialists. And we're going to relate this, the colonial violence, to the Africans Charged Genocide campaign, to reparations, because it all ties together. It all ties together. That the Africans Charged Genocide campaign, the reparation struggle, all of it. So you have to stay tuned in to the work that we're doing. Don't let white power lose you in this discussion about reparations. Don't let white power lose you in this discussion about reparations. You understand what I'm saying? Don't let them ban Chairman Omali Yeshitela. Don't let them silence Chairman Omali Yeshitela. If you silence Chairman Omali Yeshitela, you silence the African Revolution. If you silence Chairman Omali Yeshitela, you silence the African liberation movement internationally. And so International People's Democratic Uhuru movement is here to stand firm behind Chairman Omali Yeshitela, stand firm to let San Diego State University and their Zionist puppet masters, let them know that we're not going to lay down. We're not going to back down. We're going to keep on coming. We're going to continue to be on that campus. We're going to continue to fight and let the students know, because they don't even know what's happening. You know, students at San Diego State don't even know that there's an African community in San Diego, because they sanitize everything. But they're not going to sanitize this discussion about reparations. They're not going to allow these academics from all over the world to fly in and talk about reparations without having Chairman Omali Yeshitela, who is the leader of the reparations movement. Hands down, there's not even a question about it. It's not a discussion. It's not a debate. Chairman Omali Yeshitela and the African Peoples Socialist Party are the leaders of the reparations struggle. So come down on Wednesday, San Diego, 6443 Imperial Avenue. It's going to be from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And we want to, and if you know students from all over San Diego, share this video as much as possible. Thank you for tuning in. And we're going to continue to wage this struggle. Uhuru.